Hello and welcome back to Chesterton Road. In this video I'm going to be improving the scene that you see in front of you, this little area between the tracks. At the moment there's not an awful lot going on apart from a little bit of greenery. You can see a small square patch where I've removed one of the line side cabinets, which is going to get in the way of what I'm planning, so I've taken that out. It's not really a major job, I'm just going to remove that kind of patch of greenery. And then, as I showed briefly in my previous video, I've got a small laser cut line side building, brick building, which I'm gonna model in a sort of diffused state and put that in there, and then just add some more greenery, which will hopefully look a little bit more realistic, and just add a little bit more interest to the scene. So nothing too major to do in terms of clearing. I've just got to remove the sort of bushes and things that are there at the moment, and then once I've got the building, or I've decided where the building is going to go, just clear a patch on the baseboard for that, and then once I've made the building, I can obviously get that into position and then kind of start building up the scenery around it. Okay, so that's the area clear. As you can see, I've cleared a section of the ground cover where the footprint of the building is going to go. And no need to go any further than that, because obviously I'll be building up the scenery on top of what's already there. So the next thing, or next stage, will be to start putting the building together, and yeah, and get a better idea of how that's going to look. Okay, so this is the building I'm going to be using. I did show it briefly in my previous video. It's just a small kind of brick built line side hut, which I got from Scenic Group Models, and again I'll put a link in the description to their website. They do a lot of similar buildings to this, kind of little shed, brick built garages, garden sheds, all sorts of different things like that, houses, low relief houses, warehouses. All very well priced, so yeah, I'd recommend checking their website out. I've also got the two little cable johns here, which I've put together. There we go. It literally took about 2 minutes to make them, but they're quite good. Just need a bit of painting to make them look a little bit more weathered and a bit more realistic, but quite pleased with those. So the building itself, you've basically got your base there. Got your 4 external walls, which obviously have got the brick effect on them. For these 2 longer end or side walls, sorry, you've got 2 internal pieces here as well, which have just got the detail. So obviously the door and the window on that side, and then 2 windows on the other side. And then you've got these 2 pieces here, which make up the roof. So obviously that one will sit on top of there, just to give it a like that. My plan is, as I mentioned before, to model it in a sort of diffused, kind of derelict state. So I'm not going to worry about an interior or anything like that, no lighting or anything like that. So I'll just paint the interior dark in like a very dark grey, just so obviously I don't really want to be able to see in there because there's nothing in there to see. So this first job will be to paint. I'm going to paint the interior walls just before I build it, because it'd be easier to do it that way. So I'll get the interior walls primed, and then probably the roof as well, because I'm going to it'll probably be easy to do that before I put the building together again as well. And then they'll just leave the exterior brick to do, which that'll be just as easy to do that when I've put the building together. So I'll get the pieces I need to paint initially primed up, and then we can look at starting to put the building together. Okay, so that's the various interior walls, the roof and the floor painted in just a generic dark grey. There's no need to go for anything else any more than that. As I say, it's going to be dark inside. You're not going to see any detail in there. And then the other thing I've done is I've just used some clear acetate just to represent windows. And then on this piece, I don't know if you can see it very well. Turn it around the other way around. But I've just tried to model it with a broken window, so I've just cut like a jagged shape out of that. So I think that looks fairly realistic. So now I can start gluing it together. I'll start with the exterior walls, and then these two interior walls, and then obviously the base and the roof can be fitted on. And then I can set about getting it painted and get a better idea of how it's going to look. I'm going to use rocket card glue for this, just because it takes hold fairly quickly, but it does give you a bit of sort of wiggle room if you do need to adjust anything. Otherwise it'd be super glue, which is obviously a bit too instant, or PVA, which it takes a little bit too long to set. So we'll start getting it glued together, and then I'll be back once I've got it a bit more complete. Okay, so we've moved forward a fair bit with the building now. As you can see, I've put it together and painted it. I've tried to give it a weathered, sort of diffused appearance. It's a lot more subtle in real life than what it looks like on camera. But I've just gone for a sort of reddish brown brick, and then just kind of tried to give it a sort of washed out kind of faded appearance. And then the roof, I've just given it a sort of textured appearance with a little bit of patchy sand on the top, which I've then painted black, and then added some green fine foliage, well, fine turf, sorry, just to give it the appearance of sort of moss and lichen sort of growing on the top of the roof. And as you can, I don't know how well it shows on the camera, but also given the appearance of having a broken window. Again, just a little detail to make it look like a sort of old building. The brown sort of foliage you can see on the right there, that's just Woodland Scenic polyfibre, which I've painted brown, which I'm just going to use as sort of some bushes and things climbing up the side of the building. Obviously they need some green added to it, just to make that look a bit more realistic. So next I'm going to get the building fixed in place, and then just kind of repair the damage around it, where I scraped the ground cover off to get to the baseboard. Tie that into the surrounding area. Yeah, and then I can sort of start working on the scenery a little bit more. So yeah, I'll get that done, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. I've made a start on the sort of greenery, bushes and things, weeds and things around the building, but I need to get hold of some more supplies, so I've kind of taken that about as far as I can at the moment. Just made a start, as you can see, some sort of bushes, and added in a little bit more static grass just to kind of blend it all in together a bit better. But I've got a few other little jobs on the layout that I'm sort of working on, just a bit of kind of housekeeping. a few ballast areas that need touching up, a little bit of realignment of track at the board edges. I've got one area where I was getting a few derailments where the track doesn't line up particularly well, so I've got a few other little jobs to be getting on with, but for the moment I'm quite happy with the way this is looking. Obviously there's still a fair bit more work to do to sort of build up the greenery, but that can wait for another time. So for now I'll say thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all the comments and the interest, and yeah, I'll hopefully be back with another update soon. But until then, take care. Bye bye.